Hey everybody, Stacy here with Allie, and we are on week 2 of preparing your brain for competition with Gymnastics Mindset Academy. So this month we're talking all about starting to do the mental work to prepare for meet season, and the different tools that can be helpful. So this is a tool that we love, but even more, I think this is like so many of our gymnasts' favorite tool. And that is affirmations. And that's not surprising. Affirmations are completely normal within not just the gymnastics community, but within our culture. But in the same way that we talked about with visualization, one of the places that I think we go astray on affirmations is trying to use an affirmation that we don't believe, or trying to use an affirmation that doesn't help in that context. So, Allie, you want to take that away?
Yeah. So, two things that happen with that. So, one, I'm going to start with that you don't believe. So, what happens with that is I've got this is probably the most common one that I hear for an unbelievable one, where you totally want to believe that. Like, don't get me wrong. If you believe it, it is one of the most powerful affirmations you can have because you feel confident and you've totally got it. But I would say 9 times out of 10, maybe even more than that, there's a twinge of that person that doesn't believe that they've got it.
Yeah.
They believe like, I've got it, except for at practice, I didn't have it, except for in warm-ups, I didn't have it, except for I haven't actually hit it in a meet yet, except for, and so your brain is like on high alert and starts trying to look for all these reasons why it might not be true. It's just how it works. But then what happens is you're in a fight with your brain before your event. And that is not fun that's like one, exhausting. You're like, I've got this. And your brain's like, well, maybe not because blah, blah, blah. And you're like, no, but I do. And then you're like, one, spending a bunch of energy on fighting your brain. And two, your brain is bringing up more and more negative things. So that's where you're like, okay, that is something that's not actually helpful when it's meant to be. And then the other one is like, yeah, not in the moment. So like, this can be like on beam if someone's like, I'm powerful. Well, like there are some people where that is the exact emotion that they need to hit their beam routine. But a lot of times powerful creates like this big high energy in somebody. And like for vault, that can be really helpful. And for beam, that can make you be all over the place. Oftentimes for beam, we get told like, I want to feel calm and I want to feel focused and I want to feel this. And powerful, okay, our thoughts here create our emotion. And so this powerful, even if we believe, yes, I'm powerful, that's not necessarily creating the emotion that they want to drive their beam routine. And so when we are not believing, we're fighting. And then when we create an emotion that doesn't create the results that we want, then we start believing that affirmations aren't actually helpful for us. But that's just not true. We just don't have the right ones. So Stacy, how do we help our gymnasts find the right ones?
Yeah. So one of the things we like to start with is just finding an affirmation for each event. So again, kind of that can help it be a little more specific. And then finding an affirmation wants to be an I am statement. I am something. So what do they believe about themselves already that helps them do this event really well? So, a lot of times I'll just ask them like, do you think are you strong? Are you powerful? And so it can be like specific attributes of their physical abilities. But it can also be specific attributes of they're just like I am a good competitor. I am great at focusing when I need to. I am, great at, I'm able to express myself fully artistically. I can.
I'm a beamer.
I'm a beamer.
Believe they're that event.
Yeah. I'm a great dancer. No. Sorry. Watching a puppy who keeps peeing everywhere. Forgot I was recording. All right, we're just gonna go past that. So, I am able to deal with difficult situations. I can't, any of those kinds of things. If they're having a hard time where they want to believe I can compete confidently, I can, I can always hit in a meet, those kinds of things, they can use some statements that kind of bridge the gap. I'm learning how to compete well. I'm learning to hit consistently. I'm learning to get the skill consistently. I am capable of doing it. If they believe that they're capable, I am someone who could become a great beamer. I could become those kinds of things can be helpful as well. But I find that, things that are more about their ability to handle the situation, their ability to physically do something, their ability that they're capable, when they believe that, are usually the ones they enjoy the most, that work the best.
Yep, definitely.
Any others to add for you?
Not for that, but I just want to point out, then once you do find this, so we talked about, we like to do this, sometimes the driver for this is, how do you want to feel on this event? And then trying to find a statement about that makes them feel that way, so that it lines up as well. But then I add this, we talked about visualizations the last episode, then I start adding this to the visualization. And so when they go to beam, before they do anything on beam, they use their affirmation, feel that feeling, visualize from that feeling. And the more that you can start making those connections and those consistencies, the better. So then when they go to each event and they're visualizing, now they're adding, okay, you're using your affirmation on that event and you're visualizing. And before you do your skill, I want you to say your affirmation to your partner next to you. You guys are going to do partner routines, and you're going to use your affirmations and tell each other your affirmations. And just starting to use that to drive them at all times, because then that affirmation puts them in the place. By the time I was in college, I did not warm up a beam routine. I warmed up the exact same order, the exact same way, used the exact same words in my warm up and my practice and my competition and my warm up literally it was robotic, because I found things that created what I wanted and worked. And so then I believed in them. And then the more you create the belief and the attachment, which you can do through visualization, we learned, the easier it gets and the more consistent you're actually going to be.
Yeah. And our end goal with this is actually to create this mental meet routine. Mental, what do we call it? Our meet mindset routine. that it's literally part of their everything that they do, so that then when they get to the meet, they're also going to do the same thing. They're going to turn to their person standing by them, and they're going to tell them their affirmation before they get up to go on that event. And then when they're standing there at the end of the vault runway or by the floor, they're going to just be saying that affirmation to themselves again and again, and then visualizing them successfully doing the routine. So we're building this whole pattern where it's going to start out with them visualizing, and then now we're adding to it. They're going to have the affirmation, and then they're going to visualize. And then we're going to keep adding to it the rest of the month with things that are going to be helpful, so that by the whole end of the month, they'll have this thing that they've been practicing for about 2 months before they even start competition, that they can bring in with them to the meet. That'll be really helpful. So with that being said, we'll see you next week. Bye.